Isaac Chu, come. Let's talk about your hospital life.
我而家 start to 做 more important task 咯。
Waiting for the skies to clear, but they never do.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
And now we start to do more like real doctor stuff 啦。
Wishing for a guiding.
You will become the best doctor in Taipei.
Does that bar know you went for a music session?
Luckily he didn't know。
Today is my luck 了。
阿爸 usually 都贏嘅，但有時候都會輸。
我就話輸硬啦。
You stop talking about your 阿爸 like that 啦，佢都係為你哋好啫。
你講錯定我聽錯啊
Alex， enough。
不是一個完美的人，
？We decide everything for our children.
我們從對
你乜不嬲啊 ？Plan
你
你，
點有 scared of the old man 先啊？
你究竟幾時先學識尊重你阿爸我咧？
看着你
我都冇唔尊重你。
眼神，
You think I made a mistake, right?
怎麼
But I haven't.
原諒自己？
I don't want to try to save the patient, but the patient dies on you. I said I don't want to be a doctor.
I'm gonna fight this.
我知道。
Life was so good then, Chu.
你有權力選擇㗎。
We make our own choice.
反正我半走啦。Club Blue，Club Blue，外面啦。
Everything that you have said is also part of our culture.
You only care about your face. You're betting your friend, your trophy family.
People are asking me, why do I do this film? And why Cantonese? So this is the story, yeah? So what happened is, I believe a film should be borderless. Okay, being a Malaysian, where we have different races living under the same sky of Malaysia, we should be able to tell stories of other races. Like for me, I'm a Malay. I should know a little bit about the Chinese and tell their story. Likewise, other races can tell the story of Malay, because as far as I'm concerned, film should be borderless. A story is a story. It doesn't matter what language you narrate, as long as you narrate it with respect, with love and care, and hopefully the audience feel the love and care that we are trying to portray. So to me, it doesn't matter what language, it is about the story at the end of the day. So why is it called Rain Town? Because it was set in Taipei, yeah? And Taipei is also known as Rain Town. Even though Taipei is supposed to be known as, not supposed to be, even though Taipei is a place where it collects the most rain in the whole of Malaysia, there are times when it's dry, okay? It goes into the dry season. So this story is taken place in between. There's a bit of rain and a bit of a dry time, yeah? It's not so much about the town itself. It's about the family who lives in that town. And this family is called the Chu family. So it's about them. It's about the father who is always controlling, who always thinks that what he thinks is right for his wife and the children, you know, making decisions for them. I love my actress and my actresses. They've done a great job for this film. Okay, they put their heart and soul in it. I feel so. Okay, I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud to be part of them in this film. So when I decide to choose the cast, yeah, I wanted something that is feeling of ordinary but yet extraordinary in their performance, right? Meaning to say that they're all good looking, but yet ordinary people could relate to, yeah? Like for example, we've got Chu Kinwa, who represent most elderly person in Malaysia, okay? Very real, nothing cosmetic about him, the realism in him, and that's what I love the most.
As an actor, you should treat every character as objective as possible, and you serve the story and the script. So the story is a little bit on the downside of a family drama where there is a conflict and resolution, if I might say so. But it's a good family drama. It's very very heavy on Chinese, and we even use Cantonese, Mandarin a little bit, and whatever dialect that we can use. So it's a challenge for her because of the language and cultural and even day-to-day lifestyle of a typical Chinese family.
Susan, being a half Caucasian, when you see this film, you will see that due to the slightly different way of upbringing, has brought a little bit of rift in the family. Okay, so I think that's quite nice because sometimes we think being in a mixed race family, a mixed culture family, one should be able to compromise with the other in order to live in harmony, because you got two different background means two different identity, two different ideology and way of seeing things. But if you don't see things together when you're staying in one house, that could create a bit of a risk, a bit of a friction. Yeah, so I decided to go with Susan simply because of the slight difference of background that she has.
It was first pitched to me. It was such a simple story, the initial pitch of how this idea came about. And it was really about betting on rain. And Taiping is the one state in Malaysia that it seems to be a hobby, culture, tradition, you name it. And I thought that was so quaint. How interesting to base a story around that. And I was really curious to see how Mona was gonna, add the salt and pepper and all the flavors in and everything. And then when she told me she got Eric in and him having his own commercial eye, and she having her own commercial eye, I was like, this could turn out to be visually quite a pretty looking film. And I think we really do need more female directors like this, female producers, more female directors to add that flavor in our industry. I think we're lacking that.
Then we have the children, which is Fabian. Fabian is wonderful, and he represents a son that is very obedient, listen to the parents, and so on and so forth. And so much so that something eats him up inside his heart, what he wants. So there is a bit of a conflict in that.
Kak Mona and I, we kind of see things on the same page. Because the subtext is something that maybe not many people will pick up. But the scene will still make sense. But the subtext is not something like many people will sit and really listen and all that. So I feel safe in the hands of Kak Mona. I didn't know Kak Mona cried until later on, until when I finished the scene. But the scene was, both scenes were so tough. Because it's almost like Isaac in his own zone. And then, usually when people get mad, right, you need certain push, and then you push, you get to a certain level. But for Isaac Punya's case, he is so fixated on getting his fix that a little things can push him into extreme level. So I was worried I couldn't get there. But luckily for Wilson and for Susan, they were just there to be there with me in the scene. It's so strange, they say the power lies in simplicity, right? Because if you study the script, it's all about family life. It's almost like nothing in there. Because if you talk about high concept in the script, something, or maybe this person becomes Superman and these people become superhero and then that's what attract modern audience to go see films. But weird enough, story like this, right? It's so simple, but I think it's the hardest to pull through. because it's almost like reflecting day-to-day life. And so, if I really want to promote the film, right, it's almost like if you have a life, you should come and watch this film, because, like I said, you can relate to, I wouldn't say all, but you would find certain elements that you can resonate with.
Wilson, he is a guy that is who's always, having a very he doesn't really have the same feeling towards his dad the way he does to his mom. So again, there's a slight conflict there.
为什么我会接受这个角色？是因为其实我觉得在本地的制作真的是非常少，非常稀有，所以有机会来说，我都会好好去把握、去珍惜这样子。然后这一次我也听到是因为是卡莫纳，是一个马来导演想要去导一部中文的电影，所以我觉得蛮新奇、蛮好奇他到底会怎样去处理整个东西。所以当下会觉得，感觉我今天开拓一个视野，这样全新的视野，想要去尝试一下看看马来制作到底会是怎样。这是我的感受，为什么我想要去接这部戏。然后再来我看了剧本过后，我是觉得，剧本从一开始修改到最后的时候，那个层次感越来越明显的时候，我觉得整个剧本它富有一种神秘感觉。你读完过后，你觉得感同身受每个角色，每个人生活在这世界上都会有他遇到问题，他们怎样去解决。我会觉得这个剧本写得蛮 details， 所以我蛮喜欢这个剧本。其实我觉得我跟 Alex 的性格还蛮像的啦，就可能我不喜欢被局限，就人家叫我做这种事，我会觉得我不想听你的，我有自己的想法，我想要做我自己的，我想要走我自己的方向。我觉得某程度上我跟 Alex 蛮像的。我想要讲就是每一套戏其实，因为每个人看戏跟每个人的想法真的不一样，我们不能强求说你看了这部戏你一定会得到什么，但是我只能说看了这部戏你或许能够得到什么。
We have Pauline, the youngest in the family, the baby of the family, right? Who is the love of the mom and dad, okay? So again, she has a bit of conflict too, yeah? But in terms of why choosing her, besides all of them, their great credibility of acting is also their look. So I was blessed and happy and very delighted when I put Susan and Wilson and Pauline together. Somehow they look together like one, like as if they're part of each other.
I envision Ruby as a person who is naive, who is a little bit scaredy. She's not a very brave person, and she's very young at heart. She relies a lot on her mom. She's afraid of the dad. She has this fantasy towards love. She has this fantasy towards having a great relationship. So it's something like a lot of young girls do go through when they're growing up, teenagers I would say. But because of her mom's condition, she has this transition from a really naive girl to really pursuing her dreams. This is something I think I envision Ruby to be in from the script. I personally think that I'm a lot more, in terms of like mindset wise, I'm a lot more brave and I like challenges, but Ruby is more like conservative. She prefers staying in Taiping, her hometown, to develop her business. She's not the kind of person who like, oh, I want to go to KL, I need to go out, explore the world. She's more like, okay, I'm just happy in my own world. I enjoy making moon cakes. So that's how I see Ruby is a bit different from Pauline, but in some ways she has that fantasy towards life. This is where I feel like I'm working in this industry. You need to have a certain degree of fantasy to be working in this industry. So this is where the passion kicks in, and her passion towards baking is a bit similar. Telling a reporter this morning when we had a short interview that this is my first time joining a production where I see not just three, maybe even more, like different races coming together, because usually in productions we see like a Malay production, a Chinese production, or an Indian production, but this is the first time we have Indian crews, we have Malay crews, we have Chinese crews, so it's the first time where I feel like, oh, this is a Malaysia production, you know. I was really, really touched by the whole scene. I was sharing it with my husband, with my friends, like really anticipating the outcome of this film.
Eric is someone that I've known for ages, for a very, very long time. We worked together a lot those days on commercial. And then we worked together also on my 2 super tele movies. He was supposed to do my feature film Redha, but he couldn't because due to clash of timing. So when I got an opportunity to do Rain Down, I said, Eric, you're gonna do this for me, okay? We're gonna work together again. So I was, like I said, you know, it was really great to have him on set, and it was like, you know, don't have to do much. He knows exactly what I'm looking for, and voila, jalan, you know, everything goes well.
We actually started probably 20 years ago. We worked together mostly on TV commercials. She told me it's a Chinese movie, and I said, wow, it's nice, and then it's a family drama, which is her forte, I guess. I think she's very detailed in directing all this family drama, heavy acting, emotional acting on her cast. And we also had a very committed and dedicated cast for Rain Town, which I was very impressed, and also had a very good experience working with all our main cast and also some other cast as well. And of course, our crew all were very experienced crew, which I used to work with them a lot. Like our main key gaffer, grid crew, our camera department, all very experienced crew, which made my life easier on set. As a cinematographer, I guess I try not to interfere the story too much with my camera works. Yeah, I try to have it very subtle, which telling the story in a way that we don't interrupt too much with our camera works. So most of the time, I try to use natural light source, or for night, we try to light up the set naturally with practical lights, and also we discuss about the color palette that we putting into the scene to tell the story as well. Yeah. When the story in the middle, we have some family conflicts, or we try to play with mixing color temperature in the scene. You know, some night scene we have warm, we have green light that introduced here and there to make the scene a bit raw, and then feel like there is a bit more tense and conflict in the family. There are some scenes that we need to challenge ourselves, where we need to create rain scenes as well in some of the scenes. And as usual, whenever we want to shoot rain scenes, it's always sunny days. Yeah, so it's either we have to wait for it, or with the right time, and then of course we need to create our own rain setup with cherry pickers and all these rainmakers on the street, which is quite a big setup for us, where we need to block off all the roads, the main roads. There are some driving scenes with the rain as well in Taiping town. Yeah, we ran out of water. We had to wait for Bomba to supply us for extra water. Yeah, all this kind of hassle that we need to went through. There is one scene where I think it's almost early of the story, where we introduce our character, and also the different in the lifestyle for our one of our main character. So we use a camera work that spin around our cars from the back to the front, and then we need to repeat the same move again on the other location. So that spinning rig we custom made it because it's not a ready equipment or rigging that we can rent. So we have to we did a couple of tests before shoot, and then what kind of height distance that we need to build our rig, to circulate and spin around our cars. And then it is the whole move is like you spin from the back up to the head, and then in the front, and then you introduce our cars in this one location, and then the rig will go down to another location. We spin up again. So we thought that that is probably an interesting way to tell a story, to reveal a different lifestyle in a character in our movie.
Writing the song, I remember that, the director gave me two keywords, forgiveness and togetherness. So that was the start of everything. And then I had this idea, I've always had this idea that I want to write a song. The title is 我不是一个完美的人. My songwriting process is always like this, because I've always, sometimes I read through internet or books or anything, I'll see some quotes or words that I think it's nice for a song title. I'll record it in my phone. So I've always had this idea that I want to write a song called Imperfect, 我不是一个完美的人. So when the director gave me those two words, then I go home and then I was thinking, okay, how am I going to approach this song? And then I suddenly, I think of the song title first. 我不是一个完美的人. And then I think at that time, I was going through something in my relationship with my partner. So when I was writing the song, I wanted to write a song not only about the relationship of a father and a son, or a father, a daughter, or the family. I wanted it to be about love. People will remember the film and the music for a long time, because I think kita sebagai artis tulis lagu or buat filem, I think we kind of hope people, kita boleh inspire people and kita boleh touch people and impact people's life through our arts. And I think I really hope that this film and my music can touch people's hearts and impact people's life in a good way. And I really hope people will go home and feels excited to share this film with other people, in the sense that, because that's the best feeling, I think. When we watch this good film or we listen to this good song, we feel like that is so good that we want to share with other people, and that's like the best feeling. So I really hope we can achieve that.
30 years of friendship, from the days of me still single, he was still single, and that's how we got to know each other. We used to work together in this company called Yara, together with my husband at that time. So it was an old friend that know each other's temperament and way of work. So Megat has always been my key person, right from those days until many times of our work together. And he being the head of the crew, so he manages them. So he has the power to let go a crew or to replace a crew. That's how much we have trust in him. He's able to judge on our behalf.
For the OST, the very first moment when I heard the song written from Fidos, it is very touching to me. Although during the time I haven't even watched the film yet, yeah, but I already listened to the song. It touches me, and then when me and my another arranging partner Kasing did this song, we both did the song very fast, like very in the very short amount of time. We get to done the song like within a day or two.
Well, speaking about the audio post-production for Raintown, I think the biggest challenge is day one when I meet Tukumona. She said, Wei Chen, we are not going to do any ADR, no dubbing. So we are doing completely live sound. So whatever that was recorded live, that's the only thing that we have to work with. So, you know, if it's nicely captured, thank God it's easy to do. But on challenging scene, you know, whereby, you know, it's raining out there, or, you know, it was shot in 2 different times of the day in that scene. So it's a challenge for us to basically just mix everything only using the live sound captured files. But I understand the approach, and I really love it. So we went all out, and it turns out really well, the outcome. And what's the difference doing it back in our studio and here in Iskandar Malaysia studio is we pre-mix the entire movie back in our studio. You guys were there, so more or less we get the rough structure of the entire mix. But coming down here, because the entire setup of this space is a size of a cinema, so whatever that was mixed here, whatever that was played back here, is actually a representation of how it would sound like in a real cinema.
You know, again, I said, it's just amazing, you know. I mean, everyone that worked on this up to today, I think everyone is alive on its own and yet joined together with one heart. That's how I can describe this team of Raintown.
Isaac Chu, come. Let's talk about your hospital life.
我而家 start to 做 more important tasks 咯。
Waiting for the skies to clear, but they never do.
Tell me more. And now we start to do more like real doctor stuff 啦。
Wishing for a guiding.
You will become the best doctor in Taipei.
Does Abba know you went for a music session?
Luckily he didn't know.
Today is my luck 了。
阿爸 usually 都贏嘅，但有時候都會輸。
我就話輸硬啦。
You stop talking about your Abba like that 啦，佢都係為你哋好啫。
你講錯定我聽錯啊
Alex, enough.
We decide everything for our children.
你乜不嬲啊 ？Plan 你。你都有 scared of the old man 先啊？
你究竟幾時先學識尊重你阿爸我呢？
我都冇唔尊重你。You think I made a mistake, right? But I haven't.
I know I was trying to save the patient, but the patient dies on you. I said I don't want to be a doctor.
I'm gonna fight this. Life was so good then, Chu.
你有權力選擇㗎。
We make our own choice.
反正我搬走啦。Code blue， 我喺邊啦 ？Enough.
Everything that you have said is also part of our culture.
You only care about your face. You're betting your friend, your trophy family.